I'm Alexis. I'm 22, fresh out of college and feeling like I'm on top of the world. My mom, Sarah, raised me on her own, working her butt off to give me everything I needed. My dad? Never met him, never cared to. At least that's what I always told myself. Graduation day rolls around, and I'm pumped beyond belief. My best friend, Jake, is in the crowd, cheering like a lunatic. Mom's in the front row, looking prouder than I've ever seen her. I stride across the stage, grab my diploma, and feel like I'm floating on air. But that's when things start getting weird. I notice this guy in the audience staring at me like he's just seen a ghost. At first, I brush it off, but after the ceremony, he makes a beeline straight for me. "Hey there, sweetheart, remember me?" I'm like, should I? He gives this awkward grin and says, "I'm Tom, your dad." I swear my heart nearly stops. This guy, this total stranger, is claiming to be my long-lost father. Before I can even process it, he goes in for a hug. I backpedal so fast I almost trip over my gown. Whoa, hold on. What the hell? That's when Mom swoops in, looking angrier than I've ever seen her. "Tom, what are you doing here?" Tom throws up his hands, trying to act all innocent. "Sarah, come on. I just want to reconnect with my little girl. Make things right, you know." I'm standing there, feeling like I've stepped into an episode of The Twilight Zone. Jake slides up next to me and whispers, "You okay, Alex?" "Want me to get rid of this guy?" I shake my head, still trying to wrap my mind around what's happening. Part of me wants to tell Tom to get lost, but another part, I don't know. I'm torn. My whole life, I've wondered about my dad, and now here he is. Tom's still talking, spinning some sob story about how he's changed and wants to be a part of my life. Mom's not buying it, and honestly, I'm not sure I am either. "Look, Tom," I finally managed to say, finding my voice. "This is a lot to process. You can't just show up after 22 years and expect everything to be okay." He nods, looking genuinely sad. "I understand, Alexis. But maybe we could grab a coffee sometime, talk things out." I glance at Mom, who's shaking her head furiously, but curiosity is gnawing at me. What if he really has changed? What if this is my chance to finally have a dad? "I'll think about it," I mutter, not committing to anything. As Tom walks away, I'm left standing there with my diploma in hand, feeling like my world's been turned upside down. Jake puts an arm around me and Mom's looking worried sick. I'm torn between wanting to know more and wishing Tom had never shown up. One thing's for sure, my simple, straightforward life just got a whole lot more complicated, and I have no idea what I'm going to do next. A week after the graduation bombshell, I find myself sitting across from Tom. The place smells like burnt coffee and regret, kind of fitting for this messed up reunion. "So, Alexis, I bet you've got a million questions," Tom said, stirring his coffee like it held all the answers. "Yeah, like where the hell have you been for the past 22 years? I shot back. He sighed, looking genuinely regretful. "Your mom, she kept me away, said she didn't want me in your life." "Nonsense," I snapped. "Mom would never do that." "Look, sweetie, I know it's hard to believe, but—" "Don't call me sweetie. You lost that right when you bailed," I interrupted. Tom held up his hands in surrender. "Fair enough. I made mistakes, I admit it. But I'm here now, trying to make it right." I wanted to stay angry, but something in his eyes made me hesitate. Maybe it was the family I never had, or just plain curiosity. But I felt myself softening. "So, what? You want to play happy families now?" I asked, trying to keep my guard up. "Actually, I'd love for you to meet my family. My wife, Linda, and the kids, they're dying to meet their big sister." That hit me like a ton of bricks. You have other kids?" Tom nodded, pulling out his phone to show me pictures. There he was, arm around a pretty blonde, with 2 little kids grinning at the camera. They looked happy, like the family I never had. "They're cute," I mumbled, trying to ignore the jealousy gnawing at me. "They'd love to meet you. How about dinner tomorrow night?" Before I knew it, I found myself agreeing. The next evening, I found myself in Tom's suburban home, surrounded by the picture-perfect family I'd always dreamed of. Linda hugged me like we were long-lost friends. "Oh, Alexis, we've heard so much about you," Linda exclaimed warmly. "Funny, I can't say the same." I muttered under my breath, but forced a smile anyway. The kids, Tommy and Lily, bombarded me with questions about college and my life. For a brief moment, I allowed myself to imagine that this could be my life too. But then Tom dropped the bomb. "So, Alexis, I hate to bring up business, but I could really use your help." "My help?" I asked, caught off guard. Tom launched into a sob story about his failing business, how he was drowning in debt. If I could just get a small investment, say your graduation money, I could turn things around, provide for all of us. I nearly choked on my meatloaf. "You want my money?" "It's a great opportunity, honey. We could be partners," he said, his tone almost too eager. I felt a wave of nausea. Was this what it was all about? Linda looked uncomfortable, but the kids were blissfully oblivious. "I need to think about it," I stammered, making excuses to leave. Outside, I immediately called Jake and spilled everything. "Slow down, Lex. You're not seriously considering this, are you?" "I don't know, Jake. Maybe he's changed. Maybe this is my chance at a real family. Or maybe he's playing you. Look, do some digging before you do anything stupid, okay?" I promised I would, but part of me didn't want to. What if I found something I didn't want to know? But Jake's words nagged at me, so I started digging. And holy hell, did I find dirt. Tom wasn't just a deadbeat dad. He was a con artist with a string of abandoned families and fraud charges across 3 states. The deeper I dug, the sicker I felt. Staring at the evidence on my laptop, I couldn't believe how easily I'd fallen for his act. And worse, I had no idea how I was going to confront him. I knew I had to expose his whole operation, but first I needed to confront him face to face. Get him to admit his lies. So I called him up, playing it cool. "Hey Tom, can we meet up? I've been thinking about that investment opportunity." "Sure thing, princess. How about that diner again?" I gritted my teeth at the word princess, but played along. When I got there, Tom was all smiles, probably thinking he had me right where he wanted me. He thought he'd hit the jackpot. "So Alexis, have you made a decision?" he asked, leaning in eagerly. I slapped down a folder stuffed with all the dirt I'd dug up on him. "Yeah, I've decided you're a lying sack of crap." His face went pale. "What's this?" "Your greatest hits, Tom. Fraud, abandoned families, unpaid child support, ring any bells." He reached for the folder, but I yanked it back. Hands off. "Now, want to tell me the truth?" Tom's face crumpled, and he launched into another sob story about how life had been tough, how he'd made mistakes, but was trying to turn things around. "I just wanted to make things right with you, Alexis. Give you the father you never had." Damn him, but I felt a twinge of sympathy. And the money. That was just a bonus, right? He looked ashamed. "I admit I need help, but I swear, if you help me out, I'll pay you back. We can have a real relationship." Against every instinct screaming at me to run, I found myself agreeing to loan him $10,000. "But this is it, Tom. No more after this." He hugged me, tears in his eyes. "You won't regret this, sweetie, I promise." But I did. Over the next few weeks, Tom became a constant presence in my life, always needing something, more money, more time, more favors. "Alexis, honey, the business is really taking off. If we just had a little more capital." "Tom, I told you, I'm tapped out. I can't give you any more." He looked at me with hurt and disappointment. I thought we were building something here, a real father-daughter relationship. I felt terrible but stood my ground. Relationships aren't built on money, Tom. But the guilt gnawed at me. Was I being too hard on him? Maybe he really was trying to change. Then came the day I dropped by his house unannounced. I overheard Tom and Linda arguing in the kitchen. "I'm telling you, Linda, that girl's a gold mine." A few more sob stories and we'll have enough to pay off all our debts, and then some. "But Tom, she's your daughter," Linda protested. "Please, she's just another sucker born every minute, right?" I felt like I'd been blindsided by a truck. When I told my mom everything, she sighed. "Oh, honey, I was afraid this might happen. Tom's always been a user. It's why I kept him away from you." "Why didn't you tell me?" I asked, feeling a mix of betrayal and sadness. "I wanted to protect you. I guess I should have known you'd have to learn the hard way." Rage boiled up inside me. "Well, he's not getting away with it this time. I'm going to make him pay." That's when I called Jake. "Hey, remember when you hacked the school's grading system as a project? I've got a real project for you now." Jake was all in. We spent days creating a fake investment scheme, something so tempting Tom wouldn't be able to resist. But I wasn't stopping there. I tracked down contacts for Tom's other kids, the ones he'd abandoned over the years. Turns out, I had a lot of pissed off half-siblings out there. "Hey, this is Alexis. You don't know me, but we have something in common. A deadbeat dad named Tom. One by one, they agreed to be part of my plan. Tom had no idea what was coming for him. As I put the finishing touches on our trap, I felt a mix of excitement and dread. Was I really going through with this? Then I remembered Tom's words, just another sucker, and my resolve hardened. I called up Tom, putting on my best excited daughter voice. Hey Tom, I've got amazing news. Remember that tech startup my friend told me about? Their stock is about to go public, and I've got an in. We could make millions. Tom's voice practically dripped with greed. That's fantastic, sweetheart. How much do we need to invest? Well, that's the thing, I said. The minimum buy-in is $50,000. I was hoping maybe we could pool our resources. I don't know, Alexis. That's a lot of money, Tom replied, sounding hesitant. I played my trump card. I understand if you can't swing it. I just thought, as partners. But I guess I could ask Mom instead. No, I'll make it work, Tom said quickly. This is our chance, kiddo. We'll be rich. As Tom scrambled to get the cash together, Jake was hard at work, digging deeper into Tom's finances. Holy crap, Lex, this guy's been running scams for decades. I've got evidence of at least 5 other families he's conned. Perfect. Everything was falling into place. I organized a celebration dinner for our new partnership, inviting Linda, the kids, and a few surprise guests. On the night of the dinner, Tom was all smiles, probably already counting his imaginary millions. Linda looked nervous, and the kids were excited for cake. Before we celebrate, I have a surprise, I announced. I've invited some special guests. Tom, I believe you know them. In walked 5 people, my half-siblings. Tom's face went from confusion to panic. What is this, Alexis? What's going on? One by one, they shared their stories, tales of abandonment, broken promises, and stolen money. Linda's face grew more horrified with each revelation. Tom, is this true? All these children. Tom was sweating bullets. Now, honey, I can explain. Oh, I think you've explained enough. I cut him off. I cut in. But wait, there's more. I pulled out the files Jake had compiled, bank statements, fake business records, the whole works. You see, Tom here wasn't planning on investing anything. He was going to take my money and run, just like he's done to all of us. I can't believe this, Linda said, her voice trembling. We're leaving, Tom. Don't try to follow us. Tom lunged for her. Baby, please, it's not what it looks like. But it was too late. As Linda and the kids left, Tom turned on me, his face twisted with rage. You've ruined everything, he yelled. I stood my ground. No, Tom, you ruined everything yourself. I'm just making sure you can't do it to anyone else. What do you want from me? He asked, defeated. Your remaining assets will be distributed among your victims, and you'll sign over my $10,000. As he signed the papers, I felt no joy, only relief that it was finally over. In the aftermath, something unexpected happened. My half-siblings and I started talking, sharing our experiences. We formed a bond, a family of our own choosing. Mom welcomed them with open arms, joking, I always wanted a big family. As for me, I learned a valuable lesson. Blood doesn't make a family. Love, trust, and mutual respect do. Sometimes the family you choose is stronger than the one you're born into. The story's over now, but I have a question for you. If you were in my shoes, would you have given Tom a second chance or gone straight for revenge? Was I justified in exposing him, or should I have tried harder to build a relationship with my long-lost father? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'm dying to hear what you would have done in this messed-up family drama. If you enjoyed this wild ride, hit that like button and subscribe for more stories that'll make you question everything about family, loyalty, and revenge. Trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next.